Did you know that procrastination affects about 20% of adults? It can lead to a 50% increase in stress. It not only affects productivity, but it also affects mental health, which can have a knock-on effect on all other and many other areas of our lives. Now, we've all been there. You know, we've got to-do lists, things we know we need to do, we've got deadlines looming, and unfortunately we end up going and doing stuff which doesn't take us where we want to go. You know, scrolling through social media, God, I'm guilty of that. Watching meaningless YouTube videos or television, been guilty of that. Or going and doing other stuff such as housework and gardening, and if you watch till the end, I'll share my experience with that. But what a lot of people don't understand, that procrastination is not about being lazy or undisciplined. It's much deeper than that. So in this video, I'm going to explore the common reasons why we procrastinate. And I'm also going to give you some well worked out, proven strategies for beginning to tackle your own procrastination and break free from this cycle. The thing is, procrastination is not just annoying, it's a productivity killer that can have major impact on your professional life, your business life, and also your personal life too. Think about it. When you put things off, you're increasing stress, anxiety, worry, killing your productivity and your chances of success in almost any endeavor. The deadlines won't go away. They just sit there weighing on your mind, causing you emotional grief. In work and business, it can lead to lost opportunities, missed opportunities, rushed work, and poor ability to get somewhere or make progress in your career or in your business. Personally, it can lead to broken promises, relationship issues, a lack of fulfillment of achievement in your life, a feeling that you're just not going anywhere. The thing is, the more we do it, the worse we feel. And the worse we feel, the more we do it. It's a vicious cycle, and can be quite a tough nut to crack. So we're going to look at the 3 key emotional triggers behind procrastination, and I'm going to share with you some proven techniques to help you break free from this vicious cycle. So why do we do it? The thing to remember is that it's not about time management or being lazy. It's often an emotional response to avoid discomfort. So let's have a look at the 3 common triggers and what to do about them. Number 1, fear of failure. Now, this is often fear of making mistakes, getting it wrong, messing things up, or being judged. Now, this is often seen as a threat, so we distract ourselves from that discomfort in other ways. We put things off, or we do things that, quite frankly, are nothing to do with accomplishing what we're aiming at. If we avoid the task, we avoid the fear. So how can we beat this? One of the first things to do is to reframe failure as feedback. It's just feedback. Okay. Another one is to take the first step. Just make a start. Really, really simple stuff. And with that, make sure that you focus on progress, not perfection. Getting stuff done is more important than getting it perfect. I'm going to come on to that. So reframe it as feedback, focus on progress, focus on the process, and take that first step. The next one is perfectionism. Now, I've spoken with about this in another video, and I'll share a link to it up there. But the key thing with this, it's often seen as procrastination's twin brother. It's definitely a self-sabotaging technique. But the thing is, perfectionism doesn't lead to better work. It leads to stress, it leads to worry, and it actually leads to less work, less accomplishment, less success. You don't accomplish as much as you would like, you don't get as much done as you would like, and that stresses you out, causes anxiety. Not a pretty picture. So, how can we beat perfectionism? Well, the first thing is to realize that nothing is ever perfect. Just take that first mental step that it may not be perfect, but the key thing is to focus on getting it done. Acknowledge that done is better than perfect. Next step is to set a deadline, even if it's your own deadline. Doesn't really matter. Next, you should limit prep time. Only give yourself a certain amount of time to get ready before you get started. And the next one is to get started. Take that first step, make those first actions, What we're trying to do here is just build up a little bit of momentum. Action leads to momentum, and what you'll find is that you will get more done once you get started. And remind yourself that even if it isn't great to begin with, you can still tidy it up and refine it later. You've always got that option. And number 3 is a lack of motivation, or simply just feeling overwhelmed. Some projects just seem too big, or even too boring. And the brain craves instant rewards, instant gratification. So we put it off in favor of things that, make us feel good now, instead of will make us feel good later when we've accomplished what we really want to do. So how can we beat the feeling of poor motivation, or lack of motivation, or overwhelm? Well, a really simple technique that many people have used quite successfully is the 5-minute rule. Set a clock and just aim to work solidly, uninterrupted, for 5 minutes. Now, the good thing about this is that you'll get a start. It's such a small goal, and that it's highly likely that you will just keep going once you begin to get the momentum. And the key here is to get momentum. Action leads to momentum, which actually comes back to leading to motivation. The more you get done, the better you'll feel. The better you'll feel, the more you'll want to get done. It really is a simple mechanism, but the key thing is to get started. And the 5-minute rule is a great way of doing this. So break down what you're trying to achieve into small chunks and focus on those small chunks, 5 minutes at a time. But like I said, you're more than likely to just carry on and get a whole heap done while you're there. So here's the key thing. It's not about being lazy or badly organized. It's about recognizing these emotional triggers. Once you understand these emotional triggers for you, you can introduce strategies to begin to chip away at them. And the best thing is, all progress, no matter how small, is a win. Keep telling you this. Any progress that you make, no matter how small, is a win. Take intentional steps forward. One small step, one 5-minute chunk at a time. So now we know why we do it. We've got some strategies for tackling the individual aspects of procrastination. Let's look at ways to begin to tackle this for good and for the long term. See, research has shown that the just start philosophy is a great way of overcoming procrastination, all kinds of issues. Just get started. They say the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Sometimes that single step can feel like the biggest giant leap, but just get started. Many people wait for motivation, but that's a mistake. You put some action underway and motivation will come. It becomes an ever-increasing beneficial spiral. The more you get done, the more you'll feel good. The more you'll feel good, the more you'll want to get done, because you want that good feeling. Your brain will start to tune into this. And here's a really cool thing. There's something called the Zeigarnik effect, and that's the psychological effect of getting started and seeing things through. Your brain does not like unfinished business. So this is why the just get started methodology, even just the 5-minute rule, just do something, is such a big deal. Your brain will have this thing hanging over it, and it will want to get it done and dusted, seen through, off the emotional plate. So to wrap it all up, tell yourself that you'll do things, that you'll get started just for a few minutes and work from there. Create momentum through action. And once you create momentum, you will be an awful lot more successful. You will be telling your brain, actually, this is something good here, I'm working on something good here, and the brain likes good, happy things. Get stuff done. Remember, every step forward, no matter how small, is a win. I have that on my wall facing where I work at my dining room table. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a win. So share your experiences. If you've got questions, please just ask, subscribe to the channel. But yeah, go and do it. You can do this. Now, I promised earlier to give you a story about classic procrastination. Now, I have to admit, I've been guilty of that this morning, just writing up the notes for this particular video, watching a YouTube video analysis of the England-Ireland rugby game. But I want to take you back to probably somewhere around 2015. I was the owner of a website design company. I was working from home, and it was a beautiful sunny day. The patio doors were open. I could see the garden, and I was doing some coding. Now, I can do coding, but I'm not a huge fan of it. And to me, it was just a bit boring. So I noticed that the grass needed cutting. So instead of doing the coding, getting the work done, earning some money, I went and cut the grass. And halfway through cutting the lawn, I realized I'm not getting paid for this. This is not earning me any money. This is not taking me where I want to go. So there we go. I am not immune. I know this stuff. I know that procrastination is self-sabotage. I know that procrastination leads to all kinds of other issues in terms of productivity and success and relationships, etc. Does not mean I'm immune. So yeah, share your funny stories if you have them in the comments below.